the top 10 most expensive places to travel to. There are some definite bucket list locations here, so we had better start saving. Just to make it super easy to compare everything, all prices are in US dollars. In at number 10, we have Copenhagen. This is one city I would absolutely love to travel to, so I'd better get saving right now. Copenhagen is in Denmark and is a haven for all things Scandi cool and is beautifully located along the water. An average hotel in the city costs upwards of $120 per night, and an average dinner is around $50, although dinner in the much sought after Noma will cost you around $400 with wine. So, your average cocktail downtown is around $15. There is a lot to do in Copenhagen. Entrance to the historic Tivoli Gardens is around $15, although unlimited rides is an extra $45. It's great though, some things such as walking around the city and taking in the beautiful historic sites are free. Similarly, coming in at number 9, we have another really cool Scandinavian city. We have Stockholm. Stockholm, Sweden's capital, is beautiful all year round. Impressive historic buildings glistening in the water are what draw tourists to this city all year round, although it comes at quite a steep cost. An average night at a Stockholm hotel costs $150 per night, and wine at a bar will cost you around $14, which is pretty expensive. A can of Coke costs around $2.50, and a dinner out is around $40 US. Attractions such as the ABBA Museum are $20 US, but there are also a lot of free things to do in the city. Coming in at number 8, we have Paris. Often dubbed the City of Love, the romantic French capital will tug not just at your heartstrings, but at your purse strings too. While flight prices have declined slightly following the terror attacks of 2015, the city is still very much a hotspot for tourism. Hotels average at around €150 per night for a 3-star hotel, so that's around $160. However, luxury rooms in the Love capital start upwards from €400 a night. Woo. Visiting Paris for many means indulging in what the city is famous for: food, great shopping, and more food, I think. Again, this is going to set you back some serious dollar. Attractions can also be a touch more expensive. For example, a dinner ticket to the famous Moulin Rouge costs upwards of $160. In at number 7, we have Dubai. Dubai is a very affluent city in the United Arab Emirates, and it appears it is at its most expensive over Christmas time. A popular destination for people living in Europe, but with worldwide appeal, Dubai is known as one of the richest cities in the Middle East. An average hotel looks like it costs around $100 per night, but a luxury hotel, even a 4 or 5-star hotel in the Palm Jumeirah, is upwards of $400 a night. Because of the strict alcohol laws, drinking in Dubai is pricey, but food can cost whatever you're looking to spend depending on where you are. The main draws in the city are shopping and beach life, with the former a little bit more expensive. A trip up the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, costs between $35 and $50. In at number 6, we have London. London. I know firsthand how costly it can be. I actually lived there for 8 years, and buying a cocktail is like putting a mortgage down on a house. To be honest though, the most costly things about the city is very much the accommodation, so it's really worse for people that actually live there. Travelling to London is still costly, as an average 2-course meal in a medium budget restaurant is between £30 to £40, so $40 to $50 with a drink. But of course, the city is filled with plenty of high budget and Michelin star restaurants too. An average 3-star stay in a hotel will set you back £127 or $160, with many of the inner city hotels costing far more. Drinks, as I mentioned, are very pricey, as is the cost of many attractions. A trip up the London Eye, for example, is around $32, and a trip to see a West End theatre show can set you back $100. Also, places like Harrods don't come cheap either. Luckily, once again, there are lots of free things to do in the city. Coming in at number 5, we have Manhattan in New York City. A lot like London in its possibilities, Manhattan is the most expensive borough of New York City, although Brooklyn is now giving it quite a run for its money. The average cost of a hotel in Manhattan is a crazy $300 per night, which is insane. The city boasts plenty of things to do, but almost all of them come at a cost. A reasonably low-key brunch, for example, will set you back $30, and dinner averages out at around $50, but of course there are many restaurants with a much higher price range. A cocktail on a rooftop bar can set you back anything from $12 to $20 to even $50 depending on how high class you want to go. And of course, a ticket to one of the hottest theatre shows in town can total $300 or more. Sporting events, by the way, are much more affordable. In at number 4, we have the Maldives. Airfare Airfare to the Maldives is a factor in its expensiveness, as many people aren't really able to get to the Maldives. They're not pretty accessible. Usually flying there will involve a transfer. Located in the Indian Ocean, the Maldives are unparalleled in their beauty, with many people calling them a paradise. Well, as we know, paradise comes at a cost, and a pretty high one at that. A budget, like low budget hotel will cost you $150 per night, with most costing around $700 or $800 per night. If you venture out of your resort, food and drink is relatively inexpensive, but there are also some very luxury places to dine. Most island activities are beach related. A day's diving, for example, can be $100 plus the equipment. Taking it pretty high budget at number 3, we have the Alps. A ski holiday in the Alps are always some of the most expensive vacations out there. There is a fair amount of travel involved to get up the mountains, and they're pretty much known as being the playground for the affluent. Lodges, cabins, chalets and hotels are very pricey. 2-star budget hotels can cost around $150 per night, but most places are upwards of $400. Then of course there are the ski lift passes. Known for some of the best skiing in the world, places like Val d'Isere are the most expensive. Food and drink just off the slopes is some of the most expensive in the world for casual dining. So taking it up a notch for our number 1 and 2 spots, these are the kind of places that most of us could only dream of. Coming in at number 2, we have the Kruger National Park in South Africa. Safaris are expensive, none more so than the Kruger National Park in South Africa. Lions, buffalo, elephant and more all reside in one of the biggest game reserves on the continent. Basic 4-walled accommodation can cost $150 per night, with premium abodes costing anywhere from a few $100s to a few thousand. Park entry must also be paid for on top of this. Usually when people go on safari in this area, they pay an average of around $800 to $1,000 per night, which includes accommodation, food and guides. But for a 10-day safari, this is pretty crazy. Coming in at number 1, an absolute bucket list for me, we have the Arctic. The main costs here really come from the fact that it's not really a touristy place to go. Getting to the Arctic involves expedition planning, although it would be worth it for what you get back in exposure to nature. Your average boat passage to the Arctic is an eye-watering $7,000, with add-ons for things like chartered flights and activities, meaning it can really rack up. If you thought that was expensive, getting to the North Pole can cost around $30,000. I mean, it is a definite must at least once in my life, but I'm gonna need a lot more money than I have now. So there we have it guys, that was the top 10 most expensive places to travel to, and I feel like we've learned a lot. For me, I just love going out to nature anywhere, so get me a tent, get me a lake, and I'll have a lovely weekend camping. Do let me know where your favourite places to go are in the comments section down below. Also let me know where is on your bucket list. Would you like to go to any of these places? Take me with you. Take me with you. I'm Rebecca Felgate, this has been Most Amazing Top 10. If you like this list, make sure you give us a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and of course stay subscribed to our fabulous channel for more exhilarating lists just like this one. And I'll see you next time.